Hello everyone and welcome back to the Lens Studio Physics Game Tutorial Series. In this video we are going to add some confetti particles to add a little extra emphasis to our game. So let's get started by searching for particles and adding those to our scene. So they're kind of hidden behind the button right now, so I'm just going to move them down so we can see them easier. And let's go into the GPU particles material and start adjusting. The first thing I'm going to do actually is I'm going to move it closer to the camera so that it looks a little bigger. And then we'll go into the material again. And I found a really nice confetti texture in the asset library under the confetti particles asset. So I'm going to add that to the particles. You can see here it's a flipbook with 6 total particles. So we're going to need to adjust that by hitting the flipbook button, adjusting the proper number of rows and columns, and also the number of valid frames, which is 6. And then we turn the flipbook random to the number of frames, so it'll just randomly grab a texture. And we're going to want these to always be on, so we're just going to turn alpha random off, and that should be good. And then let's scale it up a little bit so that they are a size of 2 at all times. That'll make them a little bit bigger. And let's adjust the velocity. Let's make them go much higher on the y-axis. Yeah, so it will cover the whole screen. Now let's add some more particles to the instance count just so that it fills it up more. We're going to turn the lifetime random off, and we're going to actually set the lifetime to 10 seconds. And then let's set the initial box spawn to give them a wider spawn range, just so that they look more like a confetti burst. Cool, and now we're going to turn on external time and instance spawn. And this is going to allow us to have everything spawn at once, kind of like an actual confetti burst. So I'm going to move these a little bit further off screen so that they don't show up by default. And let's actually rename this to confetti. Cool, now let's test it out. So if we increase the external time input, you can see that the particles will kind of spawn over time and then fall back down. So that's exactly what we need, but we need to animate this. So we are actually going to add the tween manager system. So let's search for tween and let's add that to the scene. So the tween manager system is a great way for us to animate things programmatically over time without taking up any extra space in our lens. So you can see here there's a lot of different animations that we can do. We can rotate, we can scale, we can fade stuff in, and we can even animate between colors. And we're not going to need any of the examples, so we're going to delete that, and then we're going to drag the tween manager all the way to the top of the scene, just so that it renders first. And now, in the confetti object, I'm going to add the tween value script. And the tween value script is going to allow us to change custom values in our material, specifically the external time input. Let's name it confetti burst, and we need to set the data type to float, and we're going to set the start at 0 and end to 10. And then we'll set a time to, say, 5. Now we're going to set the onUpdate callback to set material parameter. We're going to grab that material, and the property is called external time input. And when we test this out, it looks like it works, so let's add this to our script. First thing we need to do is add the confetti object to our script. Perfect. Now, really all we need to do is go down to the endgame function and call that tween. So it's going to be global.tweenmanager.startTween. And then we need to reference the scene object where the tween is, which is the confetti object. And we need to put in the same name that we used to create the tween, which was confetti burst. So now let's test it out. Okay, so that kind of works, but you'll notice that the confetti actually happened a couple times. Really every time that the soccer ball hit the ground. So we need to prevent it from happening multiple times. So let's create a variable called isGameOver. We'll set it to true. And then when we start the game, it's not going to be game over, so we're going to set it to false. And then when we end the game, that's when the game over is true. So we're going to set it to true. And then we just need to check if game over is true or not. And if it's not, then we can actually run the end game function. Otherwise, we'll just skip over it. So that should prevent it from happening multiple times. So we're just going to put everything inside this if statement and just format it a little bit. Perfect. Now when we test it out, it should only run the confetti burst once. Yep, awesome. That's exactly what we needed. So that'll do it for this one. In the next video, we're going to add some more particles that will add a little bit more oomph every time we hit the soccer ball. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.